Today, I wanted to talk to you about how to ask for what you want and need, which I think is a really big self-care item, especially at a time like this when things are really challenging and unusual. It's easy to fall into the mode of not taking much care of ourselves and putting everyone else first. But I think it's really important to, even during this time, or maybe even more so during this time, to remember to look after ourselves, put that oxygen mask on ourselves first so that we can help others. But when we are so conditioned to not do that, it can be difficult to ask for things, to ask for what we want, or to ask for what we need. So I wanted to share a few tips about how to go about doing that. And first, it starts with knowing what you want and need. And that may sound really simple, but the truth is a lot of women, especially moms, don't really know when you ask them what it is they want or need. They haven't thought about it in so long. And so make a list. Think of things like a boundary that you want met. This doesn't have to be a list of things like I want a massage. It could be. It could also just be a boundary, a compliment, acknowledgement for the work that you do, alone time. And then you need to think about who can give you what you want or need. Asking somebody who has no power to be able to give you whatever it is obviously isn't going to work. So not only do we need to think about what we want or need, but who can actually do it for us, who can give us that. Then I think it's important to start thinking about how can you make your asks mutually beneficial. And sometimes that may seem like, how am I supposed to do that when what I'm asking for feels so inherently selfish. It feels like it's just for me. But even in those moments, we can usually find a way to frame it so that it is mutually beneficial. As an example, asking for some alone time may sound selfish when it feels like you're supposed to be, quote unquote, supposed to be taking care of your child. But when you frame it as, partner, I love you, and the only way I'm going to not go crazy in all of this and not end up angry is if I get a little alone time. You get your alone time. They know that you're going to not get angry at them, right? Or they know that if it doesn't happen, then your mood is going to affect them. We can look at another example like post-isolation, when your mother or mother-in-law wants to come by unannounced, by saying, could you let me know when you're going to stop by? That way I can make sure the house is picked up and things aren't crazy around here, and then I can be more fully present to spend time with you. That lets the other person know what's in it for them. What's in it for them is they're going to have your attention. They're going to have you in a better mood, right? I'm asking for a discount on a business tool, which right now a lot of us are trying to cut purse strings. Here's a way to possibly do that. Saying the way to make that be mutually beneficial, you might think, how do I do that? That's them giving me something for free. But when you say, I'm a customer who's been loyal, has paid on time for X number of years, I also frequently refer your product to my audience, would you be willing to reward my loyalty with a month of free service? That's benefiting them because they know that it's going to help you remain loyal. They know that it's going to encourage you to continue to share about their product. So that's making this mutually beneficial. Another tip I wanted to share is when it comes to those asks, make sure that we are asking, not demanding. And that's a way to really make sure, again, that people are going to say, okay, I'm happy to help. When we start to demand, I need you to do this, or you need to do this, go do this, give me this, people get on the defensive because it feels like you're demanding them, and no one wants to feel pressured or demanded. When you say, would you be willing to? It's such a simple shift in language that changes everything. Now people feel like they are having a request that they can meet and they're doing you a favor, and that makes people far more likely to want to give to you. I know a lot of people have a lot of guilt around feeling like asking is being selfish, but to say that, I just want to remind you again about the oxygen mask. It's a overused cliche for a good reason, because it's so true. When we can't take care of ourselves, we can't be of service to others. So asking for what you want and need to make yourself whole, sane, happy is not selfish. It is self-care. And self-care is about putting your mask on first so that you can help others later. So try to remember as you're getting into that asking that it's not about being selfish. It's about self-care. And self-care and selfish are two very different things. And then the last thing, because I know I don't have a lot of time, that I wanted to share that I think is really important when we're making asks, and this really goes along the lines of would you be willing to, and making asks mutually beneficial, is to ask with I language and not you language. So again, not you need to do this, or it drives me nuts when you do this, so do this instead, but saying I need. here's what I need. Make it about what you're looking for in the situation, right? I need time alone because when I don't have it, then I get angry or I get frustrated, right? It's not about when I don't have time alone, you make me crazy. It's when I don't have this time to myself, I get frustrated. And it can be the same for any kind of ask. Always try to think about how can I do I language versus you language. That always makes all the difference. And frankly, that makes a difference in any conversation we have in keeping people from getting on the defensive and instead being in a place of feeling like they can help you versus having to do something. So when we can get into the habit of asking for what we want and need, it can change everything in relation to self-care, because it's very hard to care for yourself when you're a mom and a partner without having to ask someone to support you in that, right? We can't just go and get a massage or get our nails done usually without having to think about who's going to watch the kids while I do this, or how's dinner going to get made, or what's my partner going to think, or any of those things. Even if you have the most amazing partner, the most forgiving of partners, we still have to be mindful of what other people have going on. So we always have to be thinking about, how does this self-care impact those around me? But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. And very often that's what we do. We say, well, it's going to inconvenience others, so I won't do it. So learning how to ask for what you want and need in ways that are healthy and productive and make other people feel good about helping you can change everything in making sure that you get the self-care that you need.